Alright guys, I wanted to make a video in this 3.8 C2 just with some initial driving impressions. I've owned a 996.2 C2 that was pretty much stock. I owned a C4S that had the X51 package, and I now own a 2008 997.1. So just some impressions from me as a driver. The first thing that I noticed about this car is just how subtle it is. If you stay out of the power, you'd really never know it was a 3.8. Now, you drop a gear, and ask for it, you know, it's certainly there. But this car is just as happy lugging around town at 2,500 RPMs as it is screaming to redline. I have yet to find any real compromises, with the build. For example, a lot of cars like this, even this car in stock form, 6th gear, 40 miles an hour, you can tip into the throttle. It doesn't buck, it doesn't hesitate, it just eases through, and honestly, pretty well. It will accelerate lugging in just about any gear. With the combination of the IPD plenum and the GT3 throttle body, if you're driving with the windows up like we are now, you really don't get much exhaust note. You get a great induction noise. This car has Pfister mufflers, but you really don't hear them unless you have the windows down, which is a plus for me. I happen to think the 996.2 build quality is pretty impressive. It's a great cabin, it's quiet. So if you're driving home from work after a long day, this car is still quiet and comfortable. It's not in your face because of the 3.8. You really notice the additional mid-range torque at tip-in. I mean, again, 4th gear, 50 miles an hour, lugging the car. As soon as you throttle in, it almost wants to jump out from under you. It's really impressive. 5th gear, lugging it. So I feel like the entire power band on this car was both, increased and shifted. Power comes in at about 2,000 RPMs, and it just hits and holds strong all the way to redline. Whereas in stock form, these cars really don't wake up until about 4,000 RPM. That extra 2,000 RPM of usable torque is great around town. It just makes driving the car so much more comfortable. I've put a decent amount of miles on this car now in a variety of driving conditions, and I've never seen the oil pressure below 1.5 bar, and I've never seen the water temperature above 185, 190. It has a nice rock solid, stock idle, and again, just no compromises that I've found, for the substantial increase in power. This is where it's fun. So going back to my previous comment about driving home after a long day of work, 75 miles an hour, 2,900 RPM, the car is quiet, it's smooth, stereo is excellent, air conditioning is excellent, heated seats. It's not a bad place to be. I think this car appeals to a variety of different people. Whether you've been looking for a 996, just waiting for a special example, or maybe you have a 996 and you've been considering the 3.8 upgrade. I think there's a great value proposition in this car. If you've been looking at the 3.8, you know it's about 30 grand now when it's all said and done to have one of these motors built. Say this car sells 45, 50 grand, that's only $15,000, $20,000 to tack on a very nice, low mile, relatively 55,000 mile, you know, seal gray, well optioned C2 with some really nice upgrades like the suspension, etc. So I don't know what else you can buy in the 911 space that offers the bang for buck and just total package that this car delivers. Not trying to sell the car, just being honest. Huge fan of the 996 platform. I'm glad they're finally coming into their own. People are becoming enlightened to just how great these cars can be. And truly, as an enthusiast, this is a great example. It does everything well. There are some subtle modifications. It has kind of an OEM plus theme. I do know the owner personally. He takes incredibly good care of every car that he owns. And really the only reason he's selling this car is he just bought a 993 C2 that he's fallen in love with, and he's basically putting the same treatment on that car. So I think this is a great opportunity. Fantastic car. Buying into a nice 996 right now, you know, I think 5 years down the road, you're gonna look like the smartest guy in the room. So I hope this was a helpful video, and not just for the people that are interested in buying, but maybe for someone who's considering the 3.8 upgrade for their car. It is expensive, but so far in my time with this example, I have yet to find a compromise. So, hope everyone has a great week, and happy bidding.